Hi, I'm AP Stedham from LA, Lower Alabama. This is AP as we see it, a weekly syndicated show discussing the Southeastern Conference, keeping an eye on the national college football scene and other sports. And we definitely have other sports in the month of March called March Madness. Some of you might be wondering, how was that term derived? We're going to discuss that momentarily. But we want to thank our sponsor, Greer's Markets, 29 locations in Alabama, Florida, and Mississippi. Remember now, they have Lucy's Famous Recipes, and she has a book out as well. You can purchase that online. There's Groceries to Go. We're discussing March Madness. All those basketball parties that were football parties in the fall are now watching these SEC teams having tremendous success. This is the zenith of their success on the men's and the women's side. So family, friends, and basketball parties coming up. So Groceries to Go, click on that and you could have it delivered to your house, your office, your any other venue you have in mind. So check out Groceries to Go with Greer's Markets. Also have the weekly online specials. Check those out as well. They have the coloring contest for the children, the monthly coloring contest. They have the groceries for special occasions on the holidays, the birthdays, the anniversaries, fresh produce, dinner essentials, delicious food and snacks at unbeatable prices. And remember, Greer's got it. They guarantee it. And I also want to bring up another sponsor this week, the Cortland Grand Hotel in Atlanta, Georgia. Tremendous people there. The sales director, sales manager, Ben Jacquemour, University of Georgia graduate, all the people and the dining. They take care of me with the breakfast. They have the pool that has the ambiance with all the trees. It makes you feel like you're on the beach, even though you're inside a hotel. They have spacious rooms, excellent walk-in showers. That's one of my favorite. And the people are friendly, tremendous hospitality when you check into the Cortland Grand Hotel on Cortland Street in Atlanta, Georgia. We want to thank them for our stay. That was during our visiting Atlanta last week for the Maxwell Awards, and we'll mention those later on as well. The Maxwell people have been treating me with so much hospitality through the years, but we want to mention them as well. But we're going to continue on now to our social media. Make sure you subscribe to us on our YouTube channels, AP As We See It, and also AP at AP Stedham. And check out our Facebook pages, personal one at AP Stedham, and also AP As We See It, and also our Instagram accounts, our X accounts. Check us out on Spotify. And like I said, we're on video every week. It's archived. It's archived on Spotify, and you can see the video production on our YouTube channel, AP As We See It. So make sure you subscribe and follow us, follow right along. But we want to get into the March Madness. As I said, this is the zenith of SEC basketball. An unimaginable 14 teams earned berths to the NCAA tournament. You know, Texas was beaten recently by Xavier, so they're knocked out of the tournament. But 14 teams, record setting. The highest in the past was 11. I think that was a Big East a few years ago. But the SEC now is noted for their football, absolutely, and now the basketball, so on the men's and the women's side. So let's check out some of the teams in the South region. We know that Auburn is the overall number one seed in the tournament. They're a 32.5-point favorite today, in Lexington, Kentucky. So the fans can travel up there. There's a little bit of a situation there. If Creighton and Louisville, if they face off in the 8-9 game, if Louisville wins, you have to face Louisville in Lexington, Kentucky. So Auburn's got a tough road there. But they'll be playing in Lexington, Kentucky as the number one seed. And Auburn, they got to get their act together. They stumbled into the tournament, but I think teams can reset. And Bruce Pearl, they had their early exit last year against Yale. I think there's members of that team still on the squad, and that's a bad memory for them. So I think they're going to regroup and have a pretty good tournament. But like I said, possibly that second game may be against Louisville to be played in Lexington, Kentucky. But Auburn travels very well. Their basketball fans are exceptional. with the advent of the team winning big the last few years. They've been on the road many, many times. You watch the games on TV at the SEC schools, and you can hear the Auburn fans cheering their team. So I think Auburn, they'll be fine, even if they have to play Louisville in Lexington, Kentucky. So they're the number 1 seed. That's in the South region, which the regional final will be in Atlanta. And, of course, if they can get to Atlanta, the place will be filled with all those Auburn Tiger fans. But that's the goal. And let's remember about this tournament before we move any further. You're trying to win 2 games for 2 weekends in a row to reach the Final Four. That's it. You're not thinking about 6 games. You're not even thinking about 4. You're thinking about, let's win this weekend. It's 2 games. That's all we need to do to proceed and advance to the Sweet 16. And people forget this whole weekend. You have all these games from Tuesday to Sunday. It'll all be cut down to 16 by Sunday evening, late Sunday evening. But just win the 2 games this weekend and you advance. And then win 2 more games the following weekend. Voila, you're in the Final Four. That's the dream for every program, every coach, every alumnus, every fan of the team. Reach the Final Four and anything can happen. Your dream can occur, can happen, and that's what the basketball fans dream of, making that Final Four, being able to make the trek to San Antonio. It's San Antonio for the men and Tampa for the women, close by. But anyway, let's move on. In that same region, number 4 is Texas A&M. They're going to be playing in Denver, and just backtrack 1 second. Auburn 28-5, 15-3 is their record, 15-3 in the conference, 28-5 overall. Texas A&M 22-10, 11-7 in the conference. Texas A&M will be playing that Yale team we just spoke about that defeated Auburn. So we know that Texas A&M, they're on notice. They realize that the Yale Bulldogs, the winner of the Ivy League, can beat anyone, anywhere. You're playing in Denver, high altitude. Who adjusts the best to that altitude? But Texas A&M right now, 7.5-point favorite in that game, playing in Denver in the South region. You also have in that South region Ole Miss, number 6. Texas A&M was number 4. Ole Miss was number 6. They playing in Milwaukee. They're 22-11, 10-8. They're playing North Carolina, who defeated San Diego State. So North Carolina, that was a controversial selection with the 1 win in Quad 1. They'd be playing Ole Miss. They're an underdog, a 1.5, a 1.5. Ole Miss is an underdog to North Carolina, even though North Carolina is an 11 seed and Ole Miss is a 6 seed. So that's an interesting bracket in the South region. They have 3 SEC teams. There's 13 left, so they're spread apart in all these 4 regions. The South region, Auburn, number 1 overall. I think they can win that region. There's no question. If they can get out of Lexington with a couple wins and move on down the road to Atlanta, I think they'll have a distinct advantage for themselves. All their fans are close by. Huge alumnus group in Atlanta and neighboring states, and the state of Alabama is right next door. So I think that if Auburn can make it out of Lexington, they have a good chance to reach the Final Four in San Antonio. But they have to get themselves right. Like I said, they did not play well at the last 4 or 5 games, end of the season. And I know Bruce Pearl, he's going to rally. I think he's going to rally his team. I believe so. Janae Broom, the Player of the Year, with many media outlets. I think they're going to do fine in that region. But the South, as a number 1 seed, when the committee makes their selection, they're trying to take it. They're trying to take care of the number 1 seed, and they put them in Atlanta. So that's a good thing. There's a lot of complaints about the committee. Different teams are getting, especially North Carolina, when some other teams were under consideration, had more wins in the Quad 1 and didn't have any bad losses. But North Carolina, Bubba Cunningham, the tournament selection chairperson, director of athletics at North Carolina. And I've been in that committee, as I told you in the past, in Indianapolis at the mock seminar selection. The chair of the committee, you have to recuse yourself if your team's being discussed. They promote this integrity, this honesty, this ability to be impartial. But that one, even I have a suspicion that they put in North Carolina because he was the chairperson of the committee. It just didn't seem right to have one win in Quad 1, and some of these other teams had multiple wins and not any bad losses. So North Carolina got lucky in that regard, but they won their first game, and they're in the tournament, and then they can beat you, as evidenced by they're the favorite in this game against Ole Miss at number 6. So regardless of how you feel about North Carolina or the committee, it's been set. And they have the 68 teams. They had the playing games in Dayton, and North Carolina came through that, winning the game by a big score against San Diego State, who's an excellent program as well. But anyway, we're going to continue our discussion of the SEC teams and some other topics in the following segments. We're going to continue our discussion of the NCAA basketball tournament, men's and women. March Madness is here, and we'll even give you a little history about the term March Madness and who came up with that some years ago. But it's been wonderful. Everybody knows that term, and it's a good advertisement for the basketball, for the men's and women's NCAA tournament. So we'll be right back after these messages with AP as we see it.